So it appears we may actually be averting a government shutdown. It's being reported that Trump has signaled that he will sign the bipartisan border security deal in order to avoid another disastrous shutdown. Of course, there are mixed signals coming out of the White House. Now they're saying, oh, yeah, Trump's not committed, but Trump himself had said he's not happy about it. But then, of course, there are other reports saying that he is actually willing to sign it. So, again, we'll have to see, but it's actually looking fairly positive. Now, CNN cites two unnamed sources who have spoken directly with the president and said that Trump will sign the agreement. Now, this agreement includes $1.375 billion for about 50 miles of fencing along the Texas border with Mexico. Now, of course, that fencing is bollard fencing, so it's more like steel slats. And so it's, yes, it's kind of a physical barrier, but then again, it's not a concrete, no, it's not a big, beautiful concrete wall. So I guess that's some progress, at least in stopping him from getting his big, beautiful wall. But here's the thing. It also adds $1.7 billion for border security measures, including technology at ports of entry. And there's a reduction in the number of beds in immigrant detention centers, as I had reported yesterday. So, all in all, it's not a great deal for either side. Both sides basically hate it. But you know what? At this point, you got to look at the positive. You got to look at the bright side. Donald Trump got a lot less than he had asked for. Remember, he was asking for $5.7 billion for an actual physical concrete barrier. And look, it's also a lot more than what Democrats have previously offered. If you guys remember, Chuck Schumer had actually offered $25 billion for the wall, which is insane. That was the Democratic offer, and President Trump turned him down because he's greedy and stupid. So I think at the end of the day, $1.375 billion for some steel slats, it's not horrible. It's not great. I'd rather there be no money directed towards that because in reality, we don't actually need it. It is a waste of money. It is unnecessary. But at this point, it does prevent a government shutdown, which would cost even more. It would cost a lot of people jobs, a lot of people money. There's a lot of people that are still affected by the previous government shutdown that have not recovered. And it will take them quite some time to recover, right? So anyway, I know some of you might disagree with this and call this a fold. And I hear you guys. And I kind of partly agree. They got something, right? And the Democrats didn't get really a whole lot other than to avoid a Democratic shutdown. So I completely understand, right? Again, I'd love there to be no funding for any sort of border security or steel slats. Not because I don't believe in border security, it's because we don't necessarily need it. Our border security right now is actually really, really good. I mean, it's good enough to catch the tons of heroin that's coming in. And besides, when it comes to drugs, the majority of drugs, yes, some come through legal ports of entry, but in reality, the biggest drug dealers are right here. It's the big pharmaceutical companies. They're the ones that are actually driving the opioid epidemic, the opioid crisis. So if you want to go after the drug dealers, you want to go after them. And of course, the Republicans, they disagree. They don't want to go after the actual drug dealers. In reality, of course, they want to go after the myth of people with cantaloupe calves. Yeah, no, that's not how people get to the border. And that's not how drugs get here, okay? There are tunnels, and there are drones, and there are submarines, etc., etc. So, in reality, a wall, or steel slats, or fencing, whatever, is just, it's not a solution. Or it's a solution looking for a problem. So, nobody won in this deal, which I guess in the era of Trump, it's the best that you can realistically ask for at the moment. But anyway, I guess I'm just here picking my battles and glad that we're not having another ridiculous government shutdown. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.